and welcome back to another episode of the Interrealms. And we did it. We gave in. Wings are on our back. And we've done this because we've got a lot of projects coming up, and it's just going to make things so much easier. And now we can really see how cool this spawn area is. We really need to light that up. How is it a lighthouse without a light? And speaking of lighting things up, we've actually found where we're going to be doing our mega base this season. I call it a mega base, it's not actually going to be a mega base. It's just going to be like a large base. So we found an island not too far from here, so we're still close to everyone. And we've just gone ahead and lit it up. There she is. Our little island. And it's nice and safe now. This is not actually quite where our big base is going to be. Our base is going to be out on the water. But we need a place to be able to put farms and a bed and call our own. So this will be it. I've also claimed another area, and that's in the shopping district. I've come a little bit out of the way over here. We're not too far away, but it's quite a large build, and I don't want it getting in the way of anyone's view. So we've claimed this area right here. Cobble's future shop. For this shop, we're going to need a lot of acacia wood, a lot of leaves. So we've just set up this little manual tree farm here. And we'll probably use this quite a bit. And we've also added some flowers over here. So in the meantime, we can also try to get some beehives. I believe this is how you do it. Just flowers next to trees. And we also want to set up a little mine here as well so we can get some deep slate. So this is basically going to be our industrial area. Place where we gather all the things for our prettier builds. And there we go. That ought to do it. A very simple mine. We can go down the stairs to get things like stone. And then we can drop all the way down here for things like deep slate. And diamonds. These keep tricking me. I keep thinking these are diamonds. Back up here, you can see that we've got some bees. We eventually got some from the birchwood. And we just swapped out the hives for these nests here. Nope, that's the wrong way around. We just swapped out the nests for these hives here. And we were able to go to the shopping district because there's a shop that's doing a deal where if you give them bees nests, they give you a bundle. Luna's shop. And you get a few goodies. It's kind of like a mystery box. I did not expect there to be wax copper bulbs in there. I thought it were just going to be like a few candles. I probably shouldn't wear this around the bees though. A little insensitive. And with these banners here, this is the last of the items that we've needed to gather for this shop. We've got quite a few random things. And I realised that I haven't actually explained what it is that we're going to be building. But let's get all this stuff over to the shopping district first. And here's our plot. So let's get all this stuff down. So this is going to be a Chinese restaurant, and we're going to sell pork chops and maybe even fortune cookies as well. So we can write a little fortune on a cookie and give them away for free. But now that we've got everything, all that's left is to build it. Currently on a tree because this seems to be the best way to get a good view. If we come down here, the closer you get to the shop, the harder it is to kind of see what's going on up there. So I want to come down here and I want to make this pretty as well. I want it to be so that if you're walking past, this kind of catches your eye as well. And I think a little pond here would be nice, and Maybe even a bridge. I don't know. We'll see how much room we've got. But if we come up here, there's also a few bits up here that I'm not too happy with. I think this needs mixing up a bit, maybe with the new tough stuff. And this is just stone, which, yeah, all this needs to be changed a little bit. But it is a nice view. I'll give it that. We've added these lanterns here, which I think look nice. It's just a shame that when you get out of render distance, they just pop away and you can't really see them. So I think that's why I've also not done like a fancy design on them as well. And in here is just my shulker box mess. But these are the two things we need to work on to get this fully sorted. Is this interior and down here. Ooh, one more thing I want to mention though is that right there is a rough design of the word cafe in Japanese, and I've done my best to imitate it with banners, and I know that it's not going to be perfect, but I thought that it was just a cool little added feature. And I've not actually seen this at night, but that bowl, oh, never mind. It doesn't stay night for long on this server. But this bowl is supposed to be like a ramen bowl, and these are the chopsticks, and these are kind of like noodles that are hanging off the chopsticks. I'm hoping that this looks like that. I don't know if it's just one of those things that I see, like, and maybe you didn't see it until I've told you, but that's kind of like what it's supposed to be. So now that we've built this place, we actually need to stock it. And as you can probably guess from the sign, this is going to be a cafe, so we're going to be selling food. And I was thinking pork chops is probably one of the easiest things to get our hands on. And possibly soup. I think that'd fit the theme really well. So let's get going on the pork chops. This might be the easiest farm I've ever built, and it's going to keep us in pork chops for the rest of the season. There's no fancy blocks, and the hardest part is having access to the nether roof, which luckily for us was already done. And it's going to supply us with plenty of leather too, for things like item frames and even leather armour, if we want to do things like armour statue scenes. In fact, the hardest part about this was probably trying to land on this little platform afterwards. I've been AFKing a little bit here and there, and this is what I've managed to get. Got quite a bit of pork, and something that I didn't really think about was all this leather that we've got. So we're going to have to figure out something for that. I'm sure it'll come in handy. But now that we've got a little bit of pork, I want to move on to soup. And probably the easiest soup is mushroom soup. So let's see if we can find a mushroom cow. We have managed to find one, and it's pretty lucky as well, because just over here, if we fly a little bit, right here, we've hit the border. So luckily there's one inside our world. We just need one of these guys. There's no need to be greedy. Lots of other players on the server. The follow wheat. I've never really messed with these guys. Come on, you're a cow. Surely you want wheat. Get in my boat. And now we've just got to get into the shop. While we're here, I'm going to get some of these guys because I think it'd be really good for the shop. I think it'd be a nice little addition. Come here. I'm going to leave this little guy here to enjoy the view while we work on some terraforming. I'm just working on this little pond here, and I think a little waterfall would be nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a boulder just freehand somewhere over here and have a little waterfall trickling down into it. This is what we have so far. We've got this little rock here, and I've made it so that if we come up here, you can see it's going to be filled with water, maybe like a natural spring or something, and it's almost burst through. So this rock couldn't contain it anymore, and it's made like a trickle down here. And then we're going to carry on working on this to make it look a bit nicer. And we've just used dirt to make a very rough bridge so that we know kind of where we want it to be. I kind of got carried away since the last clip, which I will show you now. Okay, this is everything that we did. This is the rock that we talked about, spilling into this little pond here. So let's talk about this first. I just wanted it to be a little stream. I didn't want it to be like just a single flowing, just where it just looks like I've dug a hole and then it's just flowing down. I wanted it to be winding. So I've tried to manipulate it the best I can with slabs and things. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I was going to do a bridge here like I talked about, but it just didn't feel right. I couldn't get it to look right. And when I was looking at like the Chinese Oriental gardens, there was a lot of these where it's like stepping stones and things like that, and I thought that'd be really cool to try instead. And then I've just added a few of these little cherry trees. These are a little bit of an experiment, but I kind of like them. I wanted them to be smaller, and when you build them with the big logs, trees can get pretty big. And I didn't want them to crowd this area and take away from the actual build. This is just supposed to add to the area and not be the main thing. I've added some little like lily pads here. They're supposed to be like the lily flowers. I'm not sure what they're called. And then I've also, one of my favourite things is this here. I wanted some lights, and I felt that this was just a really nice addition. And I love these new tough blocks. They go perfect for this build. And I've added them all around here. And the last touch that I've done is just adding these pots and candles as you go up the stairs. They're just going all the way up. And then that's it. I do have these banners that I'm going to be using at another time. I've just popped them here because I wasn't really sure where they're going to go yet. And now I want to work on in here. I've put all the stuff outside, so we've got some space to work with. And this is going to be kind of like the bar where you see people cooking in the background, and then they put the hot food on here to be taken to the tables. What would be really cool is if we could have a little bit of a soup dispenser here. So maybe we could have the cow and hide it somehow. And then people will just come up and it will be maybe like 5 bowls for a diamond. And you can just click and get them. So we'll see if we can figure that out. So for now, I'm just going to use these tough blocks. But they might change later. So I know we can get a cow in a 1 block. But maybe we could get him to be upside down. Come on, bud, you got this. There we go. So now we need to put him upside down. I can't actually remember how you do that. Well, this... Right, so let's try upside down. Oh, I did that wrong, didn't I? Does it have to be a capital D? Alright, let's try this again. Yay, there we go. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get this guy to stop moving. So maybe we don't try. Maybe we just make it a thing. Okay, this is kind of what I want. I want people to just be able to come up and do it, but I want it to look a little bit better. We need to work on this presentation a bit more. This isn't cruelty, right? This isn't... Are we bordering on cruelty to animals here? This is kind of what we've landed on for now. It still needs a bit more detail. We could have done something cool with redstone maybe, and I'm not ruling it out for the future. But right now we don't have sticky pistons or anything like that. And I can't imagine many people wanting to buy mushroom soup. Now I'm just working on this little area here. and I'm trying to make kind of like a hot food area. So the kitchens are back there, and this is, I believe this is called the pass, where you put hot food on and the heat lamps just kind of like keep it warm until you can get it out to the customers. And that's kind of what this is supposed to be. I've put lamps back there to give it the impression from here that maybe these are a little lit up. Don't know if that kind of works. You have to use your imagination a little bit. And now we need to just come in here and try fit some tables somewhere in this small space. I know that in a lot of Oriental places, when it's like a soup shop or just like a ramen shop, you'll have like dividers. So it'll just be these small booths like this. And you'll go in here and you'll sit down and you'll just have your own little table. Just for a bit of privacy while you're slurping your noodles. But I don't think that's going to work in here. So we're just going to get rid of this bit here. And try create a little bit more space for ourselves. Yeah, so now it looks like that's supposed to be there, like an archway, like a doorway. And it still looks okay from the outside. And now maybe we can like fit some booths and some tables, like a corner table here maybe. Do the same on this side. By the way, I'm using the word Oriental to describe this build. There is definitely some Japanese and Chinese influences going on here, but I don't want to put myself in a box and only do one style. So we're just gonna call it Oriental for now. This is what I've come up with so far, and I'm actually struggling with this a little bit because no matter how I place these, I can't really add more without it feeling really overcrowded. So I'm going to leave these here for now, and I'm going to come out here and add some more, because why else trek all the way up these stairs, all the way to top of here, if it's not for the view? Now we have a place for these guys. And while I've been building, I've not really thought about where I actually want to sell the pork chops and the food. So maybe I can do like a row of barrels back here and people will just have to reach and grab. I've added these nice little plant pots here, which I think looks very nice in the moonlight. And I've made it just a little romantic with some candles here. Now, this is a good way to get your pork chops, but it don't really look very kitcheny, does it? How about something like this? Is this a little bit better? If you're making noodles, you definitely need like water bath with the little baskets, and I think that's how they do ramen. And then to finish it off, I just want to come in here with a couple of these. And it kind of looks like a hood where the steam from the ramen will go up. I've settled on putting the barrels here because it didn't really look right in the floor, and there's not really anywhere else that I can find to put it that makes sense. So we're just gonna go for this for now. I don't think it looks too bad. There's a little bit of spruce here, so it kind of matches. The only other thing that I can think of that I would like to add in here is some lighting. Like maybe like a chandelier that's coming down. I actually really like this. It goes with the colour scheme. We've got a little bit of this out here. And it adds a different colour in here, which is something that I was struggling a little bit with because there was a lot of red. So I've got this box of fish and I've just named them Stock Market. Now, that is the name that we've actually landed on for this shop. And if you look in my inventory, we've also got some giveaways that I'm going to go put in people's post box. And it just says, shop at the stock market, new cafe. So we've got that one. And I'm just going to quickly go through these and you can read them and pause or whatever. Hopefully people will just walk by, Might not even see these, but they might, and they might have a little laugh. And it definitely adds something to this pond. And there we go, this place is officially done. Okay then. Anywho, I'm not quite sure what that's about, but I'm sure we'll find out if it's something important. But thanks for watching, everyone. This was a really fun episode to make, and I can't wait till the next one. See you all then. Bye!